So you're getting portrait mode, you're getting secondary phone holder, sorry. So Keith Olbermann, dude, I saw that video where he's like, you're afraid of needles, you're scared. Like, the guy's nuts, man. I'm sorry. That's psychotic, dude. Like, the whole appeal of Olbermann in the beginning, I watched him during the Bush years because I was, protesting the war in Iraq. And that was hard coming out as a Republican kid in a red county being I'm against the war, or whatever. But I did, and I watched Olbermann, and his whole shtick was like, he's a newsman. He's more professional. These simple people don't understand, but he's willing to explain to them because he's more intelligent. And then it warped into like, George Bush is a psychotic Nazi, fucking, and then he got to Trump, and it's like, Russian scum! Russian scum! And I'm like, dude, didn't they prove that didn't happen? And now it's like, the people who don't get vaccinated, it's not like, the reason Olbermann's got to come to you and say, you're scared of needles, you're a pussy. That's because he can't come to you and say, look, I understand people are hesitant, and there's good reason to be, because this was rushed out in a hurry under Operation Warp Speed, which was headed up by a guy who I wanted to kill. That's in quotes of Olbermann. Olbermann, I believe, wanted to eliminate President Trump. But Olbermann hated Trump so much that this dude put the vaccine out. And I guess that's the number one thing that I just can't buy into. All these people that literally think Donald Trump should be executed by a firing squad are like, you don't want to take the vaccine that Operation Warp Speed got out in less time than ever? Like, I think you're just fucking fake, man. I really think you're just a fucking sold out grifter piece of shit. Maybe you're trying to. It's kind of like I know what it is. Because here's what the deal is. I haven't heard shit from Keith Olbermann since Trump was president. I know what it is. How stupid of me. He's not a musician, so he can't drop an album where he pretends to assassinate President Trump like Snoop Dogg. But he can attack everybody who won't go along with the current agenda and say they're pussies. Because not having the vaccine, I guess that's a comorbidity, okay? So, I mean, I'm sorry, I'm trying to wrap my head around the last 15 years of psychological conditioning that we can't shame people for making bad life choices like obesity. Obesity is the number one fucking comorbidity with COVID. Lizzo gets to come out in that dress, y'all all know about all that, I'm not even going to say anything about it, but, like, other than no one is allowed to criticize that. Whereas in the past, like in school, if a kid was fat, it would be like a social thing where, hey man, we should. But the end result is, some kids would come out of it and get their shit together. But the reason humans ridicule other humans is because in groups, I think there's some kind of natural thing to be like, dude, you're doing something unhealthy, that's bad. Maybe we don't understand everything about it, but it's like, man, that ain't right. That's what they've bred out of us, is our natural instinct to be like, okay, I know what I know, and that ain't right. That's what they don't want. But anyway, you guys already know all this if you're watching me. But yeah, Olbermann's a pussy, dude. Fuck you, dude. Keith Olbermann. He can't come to you and say, hey, there's plenty of evidence as to why it's okay, let me present it to you. It's just, you're a pussy. That's what Keith Olbermann, who, when I was much younger, I thought of him as a much more intelligent, sophisticated news person. I genuinely would watch him. I didn't agree with everything because he was a freaking super more left than me, or whatever, but I would watch him, and I would entertain watching him. And now, he's like a child. He's like people that I know that I grew up with that are super far on the left, that are just like, you even scratch a subject and don't like, and then the floodgates will open, and it'll be from like, hey, I saw something happen, and then it's like, President Trump fucks his daughter. And I'm like, wow, dude, okay. So, to me, I feel like that's more emotion than what's really happened. And that's what Keith Olbermann is. He's like one of my buddies from high school. It's a bummer.